after. All right. Good
All right.
morning,
Good morning.
everyone. Welcome,
How are you all?
welcome. Welcome our broker of record, Selvan.
Hello, good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you all at the same time after a long time. Yeah. So today we are meeting because we just wanted to set your goals for 2024. I know it's already late. You should have started your goals at the beginning of December. The reason being, always better to start early your goals. December's sales also count for January. So you need to have some closing in January in order to make some income, right? So you have to start early at the December. Goals are very important in order to succeed on your business. If you don't have goal setting, it's always failure. I see most of the people have failures because they don't have the proper financial planning in place. It is very important to have the planning. When you do planning, according to your budget, you have to do the budgeting. If you see all the governments, even federal, provincial, municipal governments, all the companies, they have a budgeting. Why do they have a budget? Because they want to have the plan in place. Without a plan in business, it's very hard to succeed. Doesn't matter who you are, where you start. You are at the beginning, or you already have an experience. You have to have a goal setting. When you do goal setting, you always look at your expenses also. How much money you need in order to survive each year. So some people can survive with $100,000. Some people need 200. Some people need 500. Some people even need more. So if you need to make $500,000, what is your plan? If you don't have the plan, how are you going to achieve that plan? It's very important. So that's why goal setting is very, very, very important for all the agents, especially business people. Agents are considered you are a business independent broker. Independent brokers are self-employed. When you are self-employed, you are a business person. So you have to have a proper financial planning in place. We always say financial planning is important before you even start a family. Before you do any kind of settings, that you have to have a financial planning in place. So you have to have your income and expenses written down on your calendar. So how much money that you need to make in order to survive for that particular year or particular period. So if you have a 12 months in a year, every month you have a certain expenses. Some expenses are, it's called fixed expenses. So I know you know what is fixed expense. Everyone should have in their family, they have a fixed expenses. Those expenses, it doesn't matter what, you cannot avoid, you have to pay. So can you tell me some of the fixed expenses you have? Mortgage is number one. Okay. Utility bills, property taxes, internet bill, phone bills. Yeah, almost 75% of the expenses are fixed expenses, right? Variable expenses, you may have some food costs that you don't know. Sometimes it costs less, sometimes it's more. Some other costs are variables. Most of our family expenses are fixed expenses. So doesn't matter what you made a money or not, you have to make those expenses every month within certain dates. Those are very important payments, dates. So to make those payments, you have to make money. If you don't make money, then it's hard. So if your budget is, let's say $10,000 a month, so you have to make at least $10,000 per month to survive. So if you don't make $10,000, you made $5,000, what happens? Shortfalls. You have a shortfalls. Budget always have issues, right? If you don't set up the budget properly, then you have a shortfalls each month. So you have to cover that shortfalls. So if you become shortfall of $5,000 each month, you will have a $60,000 shortage each month or each year. So that means it's a big deficit on your budget. So that's why the goal setting is very important. I will encourage you, if you don't have set up your goals, start today to set up your goals. When you set up a goals, it has to be achievable, because if you can achieve that goal, it doesn't make any sense. So if you want to make $15,000 a month, how are you going to make that 15,000? So how many listing that you plan to get every month? How many sales you plan to do it? Oh, how many buyers you are going to represent? How many sellers you are going to represent? How many leases you are going to do? So all these are very important. So in order to make those kind of sales, what kind of plans you have in place? That's very important. Planning is the key. Any kind of business, without planning, you won't succeed. For example, if you want to build a house, if you don't have a site plan, how are you going to build a house? Same thing with the life. Same thing with the business. You have to have the plan in place. In the statistics, it says that people have a proper financial planning. They never fail. Who fails? When they don't have a plan. Because you don't know what you have to do tomorrow if you don't have a plan. So if you have a set plans, you know how many people you have to call each day, how many prospects you have wanted to get, and then how many appointments you wanted to make. Out of those appointments, how many sales or how many people that you are really getting into business. Those are very important, right? That's why we wanted to start with the goals. From the goal that you are setting up, each individuals should come and sit down with your plans, and then let me know how you wanted to make this plan work, right? You can have any kind of plan if you don't really work through the plans, right? So that's why planning is very important. Then we can work through. So how to get the clients? Let's say you wanted to do at least 3 sales per month. And how are you going to get those clients? What are the referral sources? What are kind of advertising you do? Those are very important with the goals. So you have to have all kinds of planning done in the month of December to start your business at the beginning of January. So January, whatever you did in December, you will be getting paid in January. So January, you should have done the plan already, but it's not too late. You can still start, right? So if you wanted to really get, let's say, maximum of $200,000 a year, you also have to calculate your tax rate, also important, right? $200,000 that you are making the gross commission, it's not your money. So there is a tax portion also you have to consider. I know so many people.
We're all guilty.
So many people making money that they think everything that they make is their money. You have to think marginal tax rate in Canada is normally high. Marginal tax is around 40%. So if you are making $100,000, 40,000 is not yours, right? So that you have to consider those things even after the expenses, right? So if you make $100,000 gross income, you have certain expenses you can write off, you know, all business related expenses, all personal. The fixed costs that we were talking, those are personal expenses that you won't be able to write off in the business. So those expenses are not included on your real business expense. So that's why when you really make money, you have to also consider your taxes. If you are making $250,000 a year, you will be paying almost 80,000 something in income tax. So that being said, 250,000 that you need for the budgeting, but then another 80,000 you have to make. So which means you have to make more than 250,000. So 330,000. If you make 330,000, then you get on your pocket $250,000 for your expenses. So that's why it's very important to consider your taxes also when you are making your budget, right? So can you tell me how many of you really made the goals for 2024, or you haven't made yet? If we have made, what is the plan? No one?
No,
So Selvan and I are willing to sit down with each and every one of you. I'm going to share my screen real quick. I'm sure if you've been here for a few years, you've seen this already. I bust it out every year.
he made it.
He made it?
I share the screen there with everybody online. So I just have this quick spreadsheet. It's sort of expanding on what Selvan was saying. So you just sort of plug in your goal, right? And I broke it down because when you break it down, it seems really simple. I don't know what happened. You guys can there. Oh, our HDMI connection there. So you guys can see. Let it come back for a second. No, it doesn't come. It'll come? Searching all sources. Sorry, I'm just waiting. So it shares the screen with them here. I know you guys online can see, but they can't see here.
I have a question.
No signal, it says. Searching all sources.
I have
Yes.
a question for Selvan and Akshay.
Mhm.
So you are talking about goal setting, right?
Right.
I have 5 buyers next year.
Right.
Each one, I don't know, some maybe I'll start working already, or I maybe start working on from January. And then some may go buy it in July, June. How do you figure it out? Like if you're budgeting it out for
Perfect,
year on
thank
year,
you.
month on month, right? January 24, February 24, right? Let's say January I want to make 30K, February I want to make 40K. I understand as a salesman, you need to make
Focus
sure that
ahead, right?
you have to convert them to buy it, which
Yeah.
has to take a time. It's so many other factors also involved. Sometimes we derail from the plan, right? How do we bring you back to the plan? Then it's very tricky.
This
So
is sort of how-
once you set up the goal, you said, okay, I wanted to make $30,000 in the month of January. What is your plan to make that for 30,000? How are you going to make it? So you have to plan it in December. You should be able to see the clients, and you should be able to convince them to buy the house in the month of end of December or something. Because in order to get the money in January, you have to close in December.
Housing it maybe in
Yeah.
June or something.
Oh, beginning of January, right? Then only you will get paid in January. So that's why it is always in advance. You have to see the clients. You have to convince them somehow, right? To purchase the house or list the house. And then only you can do that transactions. Then you won't be able to do anything if you don't have that setup. So you have to think ahead every time. What is my plan for January? What is my plan for February? What is my plan for March? Each month you have to think ahead 2 months earlier. Then only you can set up that plan. Because otherwise you are going to be behind. If you need money of let's say amount of $30,000 in January, and if you think in January, you won't be able to make it because it's too late. You have to think in advance, at least 2 months in advance or 1 month in advance, in order to make that sale. That's the planning, right? The financial planning is important. That plan, you have to do it in advance. Because I know already what kind of sales I am going to do in my year of 2024. Who are those my clients? I already set up in mind, this client I'm focusing, this client I'm focusing. Write it down in a piece of paper and keep it on your record. Keep in contact each day or every week. Because if you leave a gap between the communication, they may go and find another agent. So you don't want to lose those clients, right? You wanted to see the clients on time. In real estate, timing is very, very important. Sometimes I don't know how many of you find your own clients went to buy a house with other agents because of the timing issues. You didn't service that client within certain times. Because I ask you to do this job today. If you tell me next week, oh, I am ready to do the job, but I'm not available because I went with somebody else to purchase the house. So there are thousands of agents. Every single house almost in Ontario have agents connected to the houses. So how you get into those people, right? Better service. Service is the important part. You know, if you keep in contact with the clients, you won't lose and disclose all the informations, right? based on the RIGO guidelines, that you have to really do your due diligence and duty of care of your client, right? So you have to take care of your clients. You have to work on based on the best interest of the client. So those are the important.
So we were talking about keeping on track of our goals. How do you keep on track of your goals monthly? You have to keep on checking back in with yourself. You can't just say, "Oh, I want to make $300,000 next year," and then December come and go, "Oh, I didn't make $300,000," right? So, I mean, I have a couple of tools. I hand you guys these paper. You don't physically have to use the paper, but you have to be mindfully checking in on yourself all the time, right? So I have the spreadsheet that I can share with any one of you, and we can set it up for whoever's interested in setting their goals. So for instance, if we plug in a monetary goal of $250,000, right? We can say, I update the dates on this, but your commission goal is $250,000. So the average commission for a listing is about 10,000 if you're giving 1% at the lowest end, right? And the average commission per purchase is about $27,000 for the average for the Toronto Real Estate Board. Right. So you got to ask yourself, do I do more listings or do I do more purchases? You can tweak this spreadsheet to accommodate that. But basically, at the end of the day, it just keeps you on track because you want to say, okay, if 80% of the listing appointments I go to are taken, how many listings do I need this year to hit that goal? Well, I need 14 listings and I need 5 purchases, right? And then you're going to check back in with yourself at the bottom of this spreadsheet. You're going to say, in order to make $250,000 for this year, I'm going to need $62,500 per quarter, right? Well, in January, I made $10,000, right? But that's all I made because I didn't prep myself accordingly in December. Well, now you're at a deficit of about $50,000 in the second quarter. So you really have to pull up your socks and make sure that you got your goal set for April, May, and June closings, right? And how do you do that? So I give you guys these sheets, like I say, and if you spend a week filling out these, I guarantee you it'll start to become habit. I keep on telling you guys, hand out those 10 business cards a day. I just made it a natural part of myself to just go everywhere and work real estate into every conversation I have, whether I'm getting my hair cut, whether I've just had a good meal somewhere. I'm always giving out that card saying, oh, if you ever need anything, let me know. Very often, if you hand out 10 a day, you'll find you'll at least get one response. Someone saying to you, oh yeah, absolutely, I'm looking for a new commercial space. Or, yeah, you know, our family was thinking of purchasing a cottage, or we were thinking of downsizing. We were thinking, whatever the case may be, right? If you're working it into your conversation every day. So your goal, like I said here, is find a new client daily. Every single day you should be finding somebody. It's not necessarily somebody you're going to close, but the more people you're working with, the more chances you have, okay? Like I say, if you focus on one deal per month, those goals come down to like something so minuscule that it's very easy to get. I think people get overwhelmed and they come in when they do the training with me and they say, hey, how do I do this paperwork? Or how do I, research this? Or how, don't do that. The only thing we can't help you with is bringing in your network. So your job all day, every day is just to get out there and network. Talk to everybody you know, find out what their real estate needs are. If somebody says something to you like, hey, yeah, come to my house tomorrow and maybe you can tell me how much my property is worth. Come in here and that's when we can help you and support you as your office and say, okay, now you've got this person to work with. We can help you prepare for your listing appointment. How do we do that? We'll show you your pricing strategy for that. We'll show you how to prepare the paperwork for that listing, right? But your job, your only job every day is to find that new client daily, right? And keep on checking back in with yourself, okay? I also sent you guys a little like spreadsheet, this one here. This is a good checklist to keep on yourself. If you are doing these things, if you're concentrating on trying to get 10 new contacts, every week into your center of influence. So I keep on telling you guys to make an Excel spreadsheet. Just get something basic with first name, last name, email, phone number, and start contacting those people. It's like Selvan was saying, if you lose track of people and you're not constantly keeping in touch with them, you're not following up with them, they're going to go use someone else. So when you have that Excel spreadsheet, you're going to be disciplined every day and say from 9 to 11, I'm going to come in every morning and I'm going to spend those 2 hours a day contacting people, whether that's the new client I met yesterday, who's I handed my business card to, whether it's past clients I haven't checked in with maybe in 5 years, maybe they're ready to refinance and purchase something else. Maybe they have a son going to college and they'd like to buy something now. or whether it's my center of influence. So I'm just touching base with my friend Mary. Hey, how you doing? You need anything? Do you know anybody that's buying or selling, or
Yeah,
any of your neighbors?
I
Yeah,
just wanted that the
Mhm.
database is very important. I
There,
mean,
yeah.
if you keep up your client details, right? First name, last name, address, telephone number, and all the details. Keep sending the messages whenever you open up the new projects and things like that. People will automatically call you and contact you, right? You don't want to miss those people. I don't know how many of you find your clients going with another agents and buying new projects, new condos and things like that, because you are not giving that information to those clients. It is very important to stay with the communication with the clients. That's a key factors, right? Because you don't know. Let's say 2 years ago you purchased a house for that client. Within 2 years they should have changed some family styles, right? So they may have a son graduated from the university or daughter graduated from university. They are looking for new properties. So you have to keep in communication with the clients every day or every week at least, right? Instead of wasting time with other communications, maybe stay with the client's communication.
Absolutely. And like I say, you have to use the resources of this office. This office is amazing for like really trying to help you guys navigate things. So like sometimes we all get our business in different ways. Like I always say, my brother's really tech savvy. He does a lot online. I hardly have an online presence. I'm terrible for that, right? Because I network, I sort of like to say old school, right? But you guys are going to come in and let's talk about like, do you want to do cold calling? Well, we're interested to help you get those lists to cold call, and then we can sit down and practice your cold calling. But maybe you hate working on the phone. Maybe you want to do more of a social media presence. We can also work on that, working on bringing up your Facebook pages, your LinkedIn's. You guys should all be Googling yourself anyways, by the way. Like you should go online and see, are you that secret agent? I always call them the secret agent. You guys ever go to communicate with a listing agent and you can't find them anywhere online? You go, how are they getting business, right? So you want to make sure you're not being that secret agent. Have a presence online, Google yourself, and let's get some marketing strategies going for this year. We can talk about doing some campaigns. You guys should all have a farm neighborhood that you're working in. So like I always say, you can go and take a listing. If someone tells you go to, Belleville, okay, come to Mississauga, of course you're going to take listings everywhere. But when you go looking for business, where do you go looking for business? It has to be consistent in that same farm area over and over and over again. We all know, like, whatever neighborhood we live in, there's that particular agent who gets all the listings. Why is that? It's not just because he's naturally popular. That's his farm area. He's going in, he's getting his listing, then he's sending out his just sold, then he's sending out his regular campaigns of cards, then maybe he's going and door knocking that neighborhood or cold calling that neighborhood. So we have to sit down and talk about where your farm areas are, where you want to pull that business from, and really get a good focus on what we're doing for 2024, because we're going to smash 2024 this year, right?
Yeah, the farming area, you should be sending the flyers every month at least, once a month, because I always say when you make $15,000 on commissions in one sale, you should be spending 10 to 15% of that money reinvesting into the business, advertising in social media, players and things like that, because those are the things it's going to bring back the business. Because we tend to keep all the money in our pocket, we don't want to spend. No, the money that you are making, you have to put it back some.
Spend money.
That's why the budgeting is important. When you do the budgeting, how much money you are making, how much towards the advertising cost you are going to spend this year. So that is important, that you have to spend some money in order to make money. Right? That's the only way you can make money. Otherwise, if you're trying to keep everything in the pocket, then you don't have a client to work with anymore. So you have to reinvest. That's the only way you can get into the business. And real estate license, I don't know if you realize, this is $1 million license. We are keeping these licenses very quietly, and we are not using properly. We are just paying for renewals. We are paying for membership and everything else. What we are doing with the license, that's very important, because we have to really use this license. This is the only time we have the license, we use it. Right? You have certain years to fulfill that needs. You are not going to work after 65, maybe 70, right? So you wanted to make certain amount of money in order to survive. Planning has to be in place. The planning, it should include your retirement also. You are an independent business person and you don't have a pension plan. When you reach at age 65, believe me, then there's going to be a shortfall of funds, and you cannot survive with without income. Pension is going to be $1,500 a month. That's nothing. So you cannot survive. You can't even pay property tax at the time. So that's why the money you are making, you should be having something on savings on towards your retirement also. That is all set of new planning, but you have to really plan ahead with those kind of savings. And license, when I say license, you when you are working for somebody else, you are spending 40 to 50 hours a week, and you end up with a salary of maybe $60,000, $75,000 a year. But you have to go 8 in the morning to 4 o'clock p.m. By the time you come home, 6 o'clock. But you are going to do that work. When you have a license of real estate, you should be spending at least 10 hours towards the real estate business every week minimum. If you are not making $100,000 in a real estate license, something is wrong somewhere. So that's the time. Do not waste your time. You should sit down with the planner, go ahead, set up your goals, set up everything properly. Then you should be able to make that $100,000. It's not so hard. Only you need 4 sales. Within a year, you can, if you cannot do 4 sales or 4 listings, something is wrong somewhere. So we have to set it up. What is wrong? It is on your side. Is it something with the advertising, or is it something with the organization? Something is wrong. So that's why we have to sit down and talk and get that plan done. Right? That's the only way you can succeed.
So don't be afraid. If you guys, like I say, come in with anything. Selvan and I have a lot of experience, both of us, and he's excellent. He'll come in if I say, if we want to meet, any of you want to sit down and meet with us. I know last year we met with almost like a good majority of the office, one by one individually, which takes a lot of time, right? But we're willing to sit down and see what kind of goals you guys want to set to try and boost your production for 2024. We all went through 2023 with a little bit of a tough year, but anybody who survived this, 2024 is going to be a beautiful year for us. Hopefully things will lift and the business will get moving a bit. So anything you need, you guys can come to us. Like I said, I was talking to Bahisan about getting cold calling lists, or if you guys feel there's something else that we can do to help, let us know, because we're here to work one-on-one to help you reach those goals for 2024.
If you can survive in the year of hard market times like this, 2023, 24 is going to be almost same like 23. If you can survive on these years, if you are making over $100,000 in real estate, you are really doing good. And you can push a little bit more to make more and more. But if you can survive in these years with more than $100,000, you are really doing good on real estate. You will continue to do for following years. It's not hard if you can survive in these 2 years. Only thing, you just have to prep yourself. Doesn't matter what happens in the market. People have to sell, people have to buy, and it's never ending story. Real estate is not going to end, because Canadian economy, you can see worldwide, it's better than any other countries, and immigration keep building it. So people really need housing. Doesn't matter what the price is. Still, I know prices are high. People tend to buy, right? People, when they have 2 or 3 properties, they tend to sell. So we have, whether the market goes down or up. When the market goes down, people tend to buy. So we have a business. When market goes up, people tend to sell. We have a business. So a never ending story in real estate. So you don't have to worry about that part. But only thing, we have to do our homework. We really have to do with the planning, and in order to succeed our sales.
And even regardless of the market, like people still have to move, because we all have lifestyle changes. Maybe they have a job transfer or something like that, or maybe they need a bigger house. They've just had a baby. So I think that 2024, even though we're not predicting that anything getting really better in our market, I think we're more prepared. I think 2023, we were a little sideswipe. So now you guys have the opportunity of knowing what's coming ahead. And if with good planning, you guys can do very, very well, no problem. And I think the biggest thing is consistency, right? A lot of us just sort of give up and say, oh, our buyers don't want to buy, right? So we were having a lot of talks with a lot of our agents, I know, saying, you know, even though the interest rates are high, the prices are so low. We have to find the way to educate our clients and tell them properly that, you know, the market's still moving. We can't take the fear of the media and bring it into our business, right? So we were saying, you know, even though the interest rate's really high, the prices in just a bungalow in Scarborough, for instance, was going for 1.25, 1.3, and now you can get them under $1 million. Right. So if you're paying a few points higher on your interest rate in the next 2-3 years, you know, maybe you're paying about $75,000 more on your mortgage, but you're saving $300,000 on the purchase price. So if you educate your clients properly, you can take the fear out of them and you can still keep your business going. So don't be hurting your own business by taking what's happening in the media and sort of scaring everybody, right? It's not that we're tricking our clients into buying, it's just we have to educate them to understand that. A lot of my clients had problems with, oh, I don't want to sell now, it's so low. But I tell them, look, you're selling, but you're purchasing, right? So if you're selling low, you're buying low. So there's no difference for those kind of clients. The only kind of clients we might want to be careful with is our investor clients. Like if we have clients that are cashing out right now, I've told a lot of ours, maybe let's rent it for 1 more year, see how the market's performing in a year, and maybe you'll get a little more to cash out at this time, right? So educate your clients on and direct them, because when you give your clients good direction, they become your repeat and referral clients, right? Because they appreciate that you're educating them properly on what to do with their properties, right?
The people who has money these days, then it's a good time to invest. Because the prices, not like before, it's down. Before in Scarborough or Toronto areas, you won't be able to buy a property because of the competition and multiple offer situations. Nowadays, not like that. Investors can get into the business. They can invest. I know they are going to pay more in interest. Let's say they are going to pay for another 5 years and interest with a higher rate. But they are not going to lose so much money, because on the price side, they are saving over $300,000 or more. So the investors have a good chance to invest more money into the secondary properties. So rental properties in Toronto, not bad compared to the outside of GTAs. And so the market are continue to grow and for the investors, right? For the first time buyers also, it's a good time, because the price wise is less. I know they are going to pay interest a little bit more, but there's no other choice. But after certain years, the interest will go down. Economy always like that, right? The goes up and down. It depends on the inflation and the government regulations and political and all these things affect the inflation rate. But when the inflation goes down, interest will go down.
Let's hope and pray. Everybody's sort of waiting for that to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys, just I wanted to touch base real quick too. There's advertising guidelines. Now, I know a couple of us have sort of been slapped on the wrists, and I've had it taken off from head office. If you guys are going forward to print any new material in 2024, it's not an urgent situation. But we are supposed to have a certain advertising guideline when it comes to Remax. So I'm not talking Rico at this time. I'm talking Remax, how our signs are supposed to look, the colors we're supposed to use, what we're supposed to do. And they're pretty strict. Now, they haven't been enforcing Toronto agents, which is why anybody who got pinged out, I'm not sure who they are here, but I got it sort of taken off at head office. But head office has warned me that in the near future they will be. So I don't want you guys to go and print 6 new signs for 2024. So come forward to me and I'll share the advertising guideline booklet with you guys, and we can go over what your maybe your proof that you're getting from your printer and stuff, just so we don't waste that marketing budget, because I don't know, there's no firm data when they're going to start enforcing it for Toronto realtors, but it will be in the near future, head office told me. So just something to keep in mind if you're printing some new material for 2024.
What if we have old material?
That doesn't mean it won't count. You can put it up. So the trick is that Rico, Treb, even Remax head office, nobody goes actively looking to enforce any of this, right? Whether it's our business card or our for sale sign. someone has to complain about you, and then they investigate the complaint, right? So it all just depends on how many friends and enemies you have when you put your sign up.
Sometimes you have the
Mhm.
signs and he also has the same sign.
Mhm.
You won't get complaint and you get complaint.
You
So
get
that
complaint,
because
yeah.
of somebody is complaining, right?
And it doesn't necessarily have to be
Yeah.
somebody you know.
Yeah.
Maybe you unknowingly you put your sign up in somebody's farm area and they're just annoyed about
That's
it,
why
right?
when you are doing advertising, always stay within the guidelines. You don't have an issue.
Don't have an issue. Yeah.
When you are going out of the highlands, there's a lot of issues coming up, right? But people are looking for complaints, right? If
Mhm.
you see, especially outside of GTA, you have to be very careful when you do listing sales and signs and things like that, because people are really nothing to do. They complain.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's really
Every
true.
single thing that you do, make a mistake, a complaint goes to Rico.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful. We get complaint on and on,
Yeah.
right? So we trying to settle those things, but you have to be very careful with the advertising.
Yeah. It's not only the advertising, it's your listings too. I mean, you kind of have to dodge the shrapnel everywhere. Like if you have something wrong with your listing and somebody has an issue, they can complain to Treb. We get a Treb complaint or something, that's not going with Remax guidelines, we get a Remax complaint. So it's all different ways. So if you guys have any questions or you're unsure, always come to us. But I just wanted to mention that because I know I recently talked to head office and they said they are going to start enforcing us a little more in the near future. They just said
I
near
just wanted
future.
to emphasize some of the rules and regulation of the RICO. When you are seeing clients, make sure you have all kinds of forms, guidelines following the rules, because we are getting complaints for small issues. So when you are seeing clients, make sure you have the text messages properly done, all the forms are filled properly, all the IDs are taken properly, and you are doing within the RICO rules, because you don't want to breach anything against RICO. It's very important. Small, even people are coming back when you don't advise them regarding the market also, right? Let's say you sold a house 2 years ago, the house prices were high. Now they are saying, okay, we bought it because of this agent advise us to buy it, and at the time price was very high, but they didn't advise us properly. We will get into the market, right? So when you are doing text messages, emails, and things like that, you have to be careful with your messages, because those messages can come to you later on.
Mhm.
So do not send anything against the law on the text messages, especially, or email messages. You have to stay within the RICO rules and regulations.
Mhm.
Those text messages can hurt you later on. Even if you advising to go to mortgages against the rules and things like it can come.
Very important.
Very,
As
very
per
important.
RICO, we should be giving 3 suggestions, whether it's for a lawyer or a
Yeah,
mortgage.
any referrals
or
you are
inspe-
doing, do not just directly
Directing
refer
one.
to one person. Say,
Yeah.
oh, go to this person and do the mortgage. No,
Mhm.
you always give 3 names on the text messages or email.
Mhm.
Always give 3 names, and it's up to them to select.
Mhm.
You can recommend, but it's up to them to select, because they can come back and say, oh, this person recommend me this person.
Mhm.
So you have to be careful.
Yeah, and as per RICO, we can't be utilizing just one mortgage person
Yeah.
and pushing all our clients there. So we should tell them, okay, here's 3, you call and see which one you like and use that one. Because our clients are asking us for suggestions. It's not that we're not allowed to give them a reference. It's just that we're not allowed to direct only one. So definitely make sure if you're writing anything down, give 3 names, 4 names, something like that, and then you're less likely to get into
RICO
any
want
issue.
you to act best interest of the client within the duty of care, right? So you don't want to breach that, and you don't want to prove with your text messages that you breach that guidelines.
Even though when you suggest, when you bring a word, say suggest, it has to be 3, or when you suggest it as well.
No, when you suggest, doesn't matter, you can suggest, but it has to be at least 2, 3 names.
Even suggest.
Not particular person, right? Oh, go to this lawyer only.
Mhm.
Or go to this mortgage agent only.
Mhm.
Is it behind something? Are you getting from that mortgage broker? Are you getting a referral? Then you have to disclose to the client. If you don't disclose, if the client finds out, it's going to be a problem.
Because especially now that the market's fallen, you've got some people who are really annoyed that they pay 1.3 and their house is worth 990 now. right? For instance, so we have literal complaints that come in and go, oh, he told me I'm suing him, and he told me to use this lawyer, and he told me, and then they're suing the whole bunch because they think that the agent was acting with everybody to, even though that was the way the market was in, 2 years ago, it was 1.3. They're upset now. So those are the complaints coming in. So it's just
That's why
something to be mindful
in
of.
real estate, everything is in writing. So when you text messages also count, and email messages also count, and all the forms that you fill out also count. So those are the most important things that you have to be careful. Whatever you are talking, if they are not recording, you are fine. But if they record, that's also an issue. Right? So you have to stay within the guidelines. That's what we can say.
I have a question. If I'm in a mortgage agent and I'm doing that at the same time if I do the real estate.
Yeah.
So I can ask my client to like a mortgage, like a real estate client to ask them to let me do the mortgage. Can I ask them like?
Yeah, because since you are, you have a license and you are doing the mortgage also. It's your duty to take care. If the client goes something wrong with the mortgage or anything, if they go and complain, they complain for both sides.
You should just
Yeah,
make sure that
because
they.
you are fully responsible for that client for the mortgage and real estate, because now you convince that you are showing the house because I have a mortgage license. I know you are qualified. Directly, indirectly, you are telling them because I know mortgage.
Yeah.
I'm a mortgage license. And I'm also real estate license. It's a risk.
But you also have to make sure you haven't sent.
You are making money, but with the risk of high risk.
High risk.
If the client turns back, you are in a big trouble. That's what you have to know.
It should be comfortable. Like
if you are doing everything is fine, no problem. Right?
But you should still be texting them and saying, like, I also do mortgages. If you're comfortable, use me, or you can choose something in writing so they can't say he forced me. He said, you want to get the mortgage done with me. I'm your real estate agent. It can't be like they pigeonholed, because when they feel like that, then they can come back and say, see, he sent me this text saying, I'm going to do your mortgage and I'm showing you the houses.
You can say I'm
agent.
also licensed. I have a mortgage license. If you want me to help you, I can help. And you can also go to other people too. It's your choice, right? Because you don't want to force them to come to you. Then if you make any mistakes, then it's going to be a problem. If the market is going up and people are making money, there's no complaint, right? When the market is going down.
Yeah, exactly. Then we're amazing, right? Yeah.
When it is going down,
then agents are wrong, right? So that's why the paperwork that you have to be clean and easy to show to Rico, okay, we have done everything what we supposed to do. So we had several complaints last year. We were able to win all the complaints. We never had any issues, but still, because the agents have records, but when you don't have a record, then it's a problem.
Definitely.
So the recent the health insurance, right? Any update?
Oh my goodness! Did you see what is it? The water report.
I talked to Aria and they said majority of the agents vote. That's why they added to their cost. So if the agents agreed to have the health insurance, a majority of the agents, and they passed that law to collect that premiums for all the agents, even if you didn't agree. That's what they did.
I read also
only
70% covered.
Yeah.
These guys are trying to charge us for everything now, right? Now go on Geo Warehouse.
Geo Warehouse. Have you guys noticed?
Year built on the property.
Yeah.
None of the information is there.
It's not there.
27 something. He gets that
28 now. It's 500.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible because the thing is, we're relying on this information.
So
the clients want 1%.
Yeah.
That's why I said when you are keeping real estate license, it's $1 million license. That's what they expect. So if you are making a good sale, yes, it's okay to pay those expenses. When you are broken in real estate, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Right? If you are making $20,000-$30,000, it's covering your cost.
It's only $27.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
but the thing is, you know what my problem is? It is only $27. It is $27, but you know what my major issue is? If we get the incorrect, like the zoning or the square foot wrong, we're liable for it. So why are they making us pay for it? Because it's supposed to be a resource that we have. It was something that was available to us that now they're charging us for. So that's where my issue is that they expect us to have the correct information, but they want us to pay every single listing for it. Right? It should be available to us as a resource, right?
All these are non-profit organization, but I don't know if they are really non-profit.
No, they're making
organization,
lots of profit now
Yeah.
because they're charging for everything.
Right, everything is.
The
for-
zoning, the square foot's been there for a while, but the newest one was like the year built in the zoning. They've taken it out of our geo warehouse now. We have to pay
Yeah.
for it.
The listing agent is supposed to put everything.
But I'm sorry.
About my property.ca, if you go to that website,
Yeah.
if you put your, the impact, roll number.
Roll
But
number.
they don't have that in the geo warehouse anymore. So where do we
No, you
find
don't
that
need
now?
to go to the geo warehouse. About my property.ca.
Oh, like if you know your
100
assessment.
houses a year, it is free to, you can find out your.
But what if it's your client? You don't know their assessment roll number. We can't look
No,
it up
no,
in
you
geo
don't-
warehouse.
You don't need to have the assessment roll money.
Oh, I
just
thought
need
you
the
said-
address of
Okay,
the
okay, okay.
property.
Good,
But
good, good.
your assessment roll number, your own house assessment roll number, you need
Yeah.
to put it in.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
for the ID
And,
purpose.
Yeah, that's the login, that's the
Oh,
login to
okay,
log
okay.
into that about my property.ca.
Okay.
100 property a year, you can free to
Oh, we should
see.
check that out
Oh,
then.
that's a
That's
good-
some good.
Yeah.
That's
Because
not-
I've been paying $5.27, so $32 every listing now, right? Yeah.
So from starting in, we are planning to do from starting in
If I
January,
find out that one, it's-
every week or every other week, panel discussions
Mhm.
with all the agents, finding out issues from outside
Mhm.
with your clients, listings, buying, leasing, LTB issues, all these things that we are going to discuss between the agents, starting in from January.
So we want to do it a little different than training. We're gonna have the manager sitting up here, whoever's available that week, a few of us every week, maybe a Thursday evening, every second week. And we just want to answer your guys' questions, issues you're having, anything, questions you have about
Yeah,
the
it is better to
market.
have, better to share each other's experience
Mhm.
outside. It's a very important lesson for everybody because everyone has the different experience with the tenant, different experience with the agents outside, different experience with the business people. So you wanted to share your stories, and each of us, we can share. So we have 1 hour to discuss each week.
Mhm.
So that will help everyone to learn
Yeah.
from each other's mistakes.
Yeah.
Right. So
I like
that's
to
our
hear
plan.
about your failures from the week because we can learn from them.
Yeah,
Yeah, Harry.
I have a thing over here. Make like a 3 people or 4 people as a group. Bring it to the boardroom and how to get the listing for unknown people. And make a training and how to get that.
So I've
These things
just,
you promote and then get the listing. Otherwise, known people wise in Selvan and everybody, we can go and get a listing easy. Unknown people doesn't know in this office, I know. 70% of the people doesn't know how to get the listing.
Yeah,
That's
that-
a big-
so what we did is we started a production team. I don't know if you saw the page. I'm just seeing if you're on my list here or not, Harry. We started a production team and this is exactly our goal. So today I'm meeting with a handful of you. We're gonna sit in the boardroom after. I
will
think,
tell you something, you know what? If
Yeah.
you tell like this, no.
yeah,
All the people, 3 people, and first you have to be know where they are. yeah?
Exactly.
You have to identify the problem.
exactly.
Then you guys are go behind and push.
That's exactly what we
That's
wanna
the way
do.
you want.
So you
Otherwise,
could
never
join
gonna
our
be able
production
to
team.
solve.
We've started it. I don't know if you saw the page, right? What we're gonna do is we wanna sit down in smaller, more closed groups and discuss what's going on. So today I think I'm meeting with 5 of you. I don't know which one of you remember, but I'll tell after the meeting. I wanna call you up on camera. But we'll go to the boardroom after and we'll start talking. I know I sent you guys an email last week, starting off with just your center of influence, creating that because that's what I want to pull from your network. But we're going to talk about identifying some issues, what we're going to do for the new year, if you guys have set your goals.
especially
meet for a
agents
little
who
bit
is
after.
not making any money
Yeah.
or any commissions. We really wanted to spend some time and training them, right? So that is important for them to come out, because if they don't come, you can't push them. So they have to come and
You know,
discuss the
remember-
issues.
Women's real-time train.
Yeah.
Lot of listings are terminated on December 31st. They are focusing January 1st week. All terminated listing, they put it like a farm, like a one area to one area, send like a 2-3 agents to go and get the listing. That's what they do grouping, okay? try a lot of different things.
Yeah, for
We can
sure.
Bring a different,
For sure.
lot of listing.
We talk
So
about doing
where we
terminated
go
and expired,
try,
right?
hey, what they're going to be talk, how
Yeah.
they're going to be to move on.
Yeah.
These are the facts.
Yeah. I have scripts and dialogues for everything. So like I like to see a lot more faces like this is great having a group like this, because if you guys come on Tuesday where I can do more focused groups like this. In our last office, we used to just practice scripts and dialogues. So for instance, like you talk about terminated listings, we're going to go over A, how you search them in your farm area, and B, how you got on the phone and how you start approaching them and calling them, right? And we hand out the script that day and we might practice it back and forth live with each other. So when you get on the phone, you're not as nervous and you know what to say. And you know what, when you get those objections, how to handle it, right? So, but it all goes on your guys' participation at the end of the day. I can page out as much as I want. You have to physically show up so we can sit and we can interact and do it. And we can work on these things. Right?
That's why I said at the beginning, if you have a real estate license, minimum, absolute minimum, if you don't make 50,000, there's something is really, really wrong. Because you don't want to waste your money and time if you're not really making $50,000 in real estate. That point, this is the time you have to come to the office, sit down with the managers, go through the plan. How can you make that $50,000? If you are not making, you have to work towards that plan with the others' help. We have experienced agents, we have managers, we have everyone, all the equipments we have to help you to develop that skills. Because, only certain experienced agents, they don't have any issues. They can really go ahead and make money. But others who has problems, we are here to help you. But they have to come. We can force. We can call, request, and it's up to you to come and join with us and go forward. Otherwise, it's going to be hard.
I really got good advice from one of the agents outside of our office. I had a deal with him once, and we closed the deal. And then he asked me to come for the dinner. I went. He said, "Nanda, how many friends you have? Close friends." I said, 15 to 20, maximum 30. And how many relatives you have? And I say that. In Canada, I may have a close relatives like a 15 family. So total how much? 150 people you know directly. And how many people you don't know? Let me. I said millions.
Millions.
So where you are going to target your clients? With your family, your friends? No, that is nothing. Go and target the unknown people.
Yeah.
There are millions out there.
That's what I'm saying. You have to expand.
That's why
network.
your license is not for one community.
Mm.
It's not licensed in Ontario. You can deal with any community, any members. Everybody we have the same rules and regulations. So there's nothing to be shy to deal with the other communities. So you wanted to focus on other people, because sometimes within our ethnic, we have everybody has a license. Other communities, some of them, they don't, so many people, only so many people have a license. So you can communicate with other community too.
They don't like to come and work with you.
Yeah.
They want to.
Some community
their
people, they don't want to work with
income.
the same. Yeah.
Especially, they don't want to disclose their down payment and income.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. So
The relatives,
that's the main thing.
they may buy one property with you. Second, third,
Exactly.
So that's the point. You have to refer to non-agent and then they split the commissions.
Yeah.
Anybody want to help? I mean.
1% back.
Well, no, don't do this. Don't do this. Yeah. It's super important. No cash backs, no 1% back, and fight for more commission, guys. At the end of the day, I rarely sign a deal for 1% commission. You can ask them, pull all my listing agreements. Don't do it. I know everybody says, oh, but my community and this guy's doing this, that guy's doing that. But you have to keep on reminding people, hey, like if that guy's giving you 1% back, or if he's, listing for 1%, he's not even defending his own worth. How do you expect him to defend the worth of your property? Right? Like you've got to get a higher professionalism going here,
What is the guideline for us to give the, our office? How do you encourage them to pay back, the commission to share with other people?
Pay the mortgage.
What do you mean? Like, what do you
You
mean?
know, some
No,
people
you
say,
wanted
some
a
people say,
referral
oh,
fee.
I am giving money back to them.
I'm saying don't do this. Like,
So-
I'm just not a fan of it. You know what I
Let
mean?
me,
I'm
let,
asking.
let me tell you my story. I'm in real estate almost 18 years. I never paid one penny to the buyer or seller. I never,
Me
I
neither.
can-
never paid a penny to anybody else.
Never.
Because when they ask, I explain to them,
Mhm.
this is my work.
Yes.
This is my work. Let me handle. I will get you the maximum possible discount on sales.
Mhm.
Yes.
Right? If it is the house listed for 1 million, maybe I will save you 100,000. If you go with another agent, he may get you for 1 million and give you 1%. Which one is high?
Mhm.
So I will try to get you the maximum possible returns, but don't ask me my money.
Exactly.
I'm not going to say
I
that.
proudly say that too.
Yeah.
Never.
For my real estate, history, I never even give any penny to that my
Yeah.
client.
And I never even reduce commission on the listing side. I always laugh. Real estate is the only profession I know where we are trying to undercut each other. If a doctor goes to work at this hospital here, you think he says, "Oh, you know what? Pay me less than that doctor, and I'll work for you." No, everybody fights for more, right? So we have to fight for our own industry. Unless we want to see us all making next to no money for all the work we do, we have to fight for that commission at the end of the day. You have to show the clients this is everything I'm doing for you. So this is why you have to pay me my full commission. Don't just go down to the 1%.
Yeah,
It's
in fact, any
terrible.
buyer agents, they come and they may ask me, okay, then that guy you give any money, feedback. I say that, you are the responsible for 2.5 of my commission. That's what we are signing up here.
Mhm.
If I show it to the house 2% commission, buyer commission, you should pay for me the
0.5.
0.5.
Yeah.
Then they never open.
Then
their
they open their
mouth
mouth again, right?
And also, I always show the, some listing houses by owner, they may put $3,000 for the buyer commission, right?
Yeah.
I show that houses too.
Yeah.
If anyone, if anyone wanted to avoid that,
Yeah.
to buy a same street or near Vignity to buy
a problem.
2.5, when the buyer find out,
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a big
why you
problem.
didn't show this house,
Yeah.
not going to be a big problem.
Yeah.
So if you explain to them, I am going to buy this house for discounted price, the market price is this.
Yeah.
Nobody, if it's the 3,000, no agent to bring the client there, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to go buy they got the 3,000. They never even explain to them, right?
Mhm.
I explained once for the buyer commission was 5,000.
Mhm.
Buyer commission. I explained my client. I told them that this is almost 35 days in market.
Mhm.
I will buy this.
But you pay me
Can
the
you pay
commission.
for me the 2.5
Yeah.
minus 5,000?
Yeah.
I said I don't want, they pay
Yeah,
5,000.
Yeah.
Can you pay for me 2.5 minus 5,000?
Yeah.
They will agree.
They said, Linda, if you buy this price,
Sure. Yeah.
we will buy.
Yeah.
Even they agreed price and I go lower another 10,000, I bought that house for it.
Yeah.
The
See?
same experience I have in core
There is all
people do $2,000 for agents commission.
Yeah.
So the buyer
Yeah, I
they
told them. Otherwise,
ask me so many questions.
if you
They
didn't
say everything is there,
Yeah.
and if you want to convince the buyer reason way, and they are agree, and this is $2,000 I give to you.
Mhm.
But don't go up and down, don't waste your time because
Yeah.
we already give it to you.
Yeah.
And she's closed the deal only the reason for that.
Yeah.
So always they looking for extra something they want to make it right.
Mhm.
So that's
Mhm.
very good ideas. I think Vijayana gave me this idea for us.
Mhm. Don't undercut yourself. Fight for your.
Well, seller is not responsible for paying our commission, right?
No, no.
Buyer is the one responsible.
Buyer.
That's why we signed the buyer agreement.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So then we don't need to fear to tell them that you signed 2.5.
Yeah.
When you sign the buyer agreement, you have to explain to them, this is a 2.5, it's a buyer commission you are signing.
Yeah.
You have to explain. If you don't explain, that's a problem too.
Mhm.
Explain your buyer agreement when you.
That if I
sign,
don't
you
get
will
this, you
get-
still.
I don't know if all of you understand. Buyer agency agreement. When you sign it, there's on the second page asking how much commission you are getting.
Mhm.
We put 2.5.
Don't
You can
leave
put
that blank.
3% if the buyer agrees.
Yeah.
So in case if you are buying a property, you are getting 1% from the say, listing,
Mhm.
then you can demand the buyer to pay the 1.5. But you have to explain to the buyer.
Yeah. You have to explain.
Yeah.
It saves you at the end of the day. Even one time I had an experience, I had put 2.5 in there. I showed her about 25 condos. She ended up buying a for sale by owner one. So how do I make sure I have my commission at the end of the day, right? I had a reminder that the buyer agreement says that you owe me 2.5. Because just because I show you 25 properties and that's the one you choose, it's not fair to me for all the work that we've put in, right? So.
Now is another problem. Lots of people, they don't want to be signed at the buyer agents.
How would you get
You know
the
why?
sign?
Then other agents are ready to work. Okay, come and show the property. What we can do, how we can stop this.
So I always, my clients, before I saw the property, I take them to the office, sit down, go through the forms. And first thing I explain, I have to work with you. I have to show you the properties. Without signing this form, I won't be able to do it. Because there's an insurance involvement, there's a commission involvement, there's a problems. You have to sign, then only we can work. Oh yeah, no problem, we will sign. If you don't sign and you show all the properties, finally you end up losing the commission too sometimes.
You show the property,
Yeah.
I will take the client, then I will sell them.
So number one, you have an insurance protection for the buyers, right? When you are taking into the house, they fell down or something, you can cover. The second thing is they are working with you and you are working for them. You are only working for them, looking for the house until they find a good house. So if you want me to do that, you have to sign this form. Otherwise, I don't care. I'm not going to look for nice house.
You know what, Selvan?
Mm.
I tell you my
So, but
experience.
this is a
I
nice.
work like about,
nice
okay, 10, 15 buyers in the current market. I know how they are doing. Okay, they have a down payments and everything. They know, they want to be signed up, who the agent bring the value down. Okay, say the house is put in the market today $1 million. They will ask to buy that house is 800,000. I said, yeah, why not? I want to be put on this one, 675 market is, so I tried to sign up. On the day, I said, okay, you have to sign up for.
That's the only time you can also get the buyer's agreement.
Yeah, otherwise,
Yeah.
they don't want to be signed up anymore. You are loose.
Yeah, trying to give an offer, trying to give an offer as soon as possible when they go in the house. Any offer. At that time, you need to sign the buyer agreement. And not only the buyer agreement you sign, you need to register with the buyer agreement.
Yeah.
That is important.
Signing doesn't make any
Doesn't
sense
make any difference.
unless you register with their registry.
That's all.
Right? That's
Right.
another important part that you have to know.
This kind of people, I right away, within 10 minutes, I.
Put it on the buyer registry. That's good. That's good.
And the 7 days or some days or 5 days, it will expire. You can
Yeah,
register.
you have to sign it.
They are handing the houses like this, okay, $300, $250,000 down payment, and they want to buy, and they are tenants now, currently. They had to leave the property, they had to buy somewhere. So you will do the first offer like this, or you, I know that, I wouldn't get it, okay? Second offer, I said, hey, then they are my control, okay? Other agent, they talk about you, did you sign it? They said, oh, just today I signed this guy, okay? Then they go, you didn't explain anything. I said, no, you come to me with me and in the office, you sign BRA. Don't chase. I close it like this year, 3 days. This kind of stuff.
But it's okay. This is what I'm talking about. This is why Selvan was saying we're going to start a
You know,
panel.
each of you have a different experience,
Yeah, yeah.
different way of handling people, because it's not going to be unique for one person and another person is different thing, right? So it's that's why buyer agency agreement, it won't work with everybody, but you have to find a way to sign it or get it done, because otherwise sometimes you end up losing the deal too, right? How many clients you heard of buying a house, that client that you know really well and they went with another agent? How many? So many, right? It hurt you.
Happens to all of us.
So
They
that's
don't want to see they
Yeah.
have a 5 houses, 6 houses, or their down payments income.
For my
Non
experience,
people,
I
yeah.
was showing for 1.5 years. And then
1.5
years.
Oh
You're selling
my
a property?
goodness.
And then finally I showed on property in agent. The client wanted to try with 1,100,000. Then I submitted 1,100,000. The agent was expecting 1,150,000. So that didn't happen. Within 3 days, my same client went with other agent from other brokerage and bought it for 1,100,000.
So that age, when you signed the first offer, you didn't sign the buyer agency agreement?
So far, no, I never asked anyone to sign.
But you're not allowed to create an offer without that because you're not That
So-
you're not,
Whenever you are creating an offer, you have to
You have to.
create a offer by purchase.
I used to fill the BRA after accepting the offer.
No,
no.
it has to be before.
Because you're not authorized to work on that client's behalf. You're not
Yeah.
authorized to work on that client's behalf unless you
You
have
can
your
even
working
negotiate
with a
prices.
realtor and your BRA signed, right?
You have to sign the
So-
BRA first.
Yeah, so Rico would come down hard on you for submitting an offer without a working with a realtor or a BRA signed, right? They come down pretty hard.
BRA should put the client's address. I learned recently. Instead of putting the buyer's address, it's invalid actually, you should put the address. Yeah, but just you put the name and then start date of the BRA starting contract, doesn't help. You need to have the address.
Mhm.
If you put in that address,
Mhm.
that's going to be on the enclose only that property.
No, not the property
No,
address.
no, the client's address. Yeah.
That's what you are.
That's why the ID form working with the realtor form is very important.
You get it and that's.
Saying here is they want the same property which I showed and tried, I submitted offer.
So you will be different experience.
The BRA, without BRA, you cannot,
Submit an offer. You have to sign the BRA first.
Yeah,
Because hold on.
yeah, the holdover for sure.
I always tell the client, we can try lower first, then we can work on. That's what it is. This time you are in time, I will get a check.
So I would like to share another
1.5
experience.
days, I do only 15 days. I show house, it's not work, they're gone.
Most importantly, when client asking for property, you have to finish it with a certain time. You don't want to take them too long. When you take too long, also problem.
Problem. 15
I
days.
have 5-6 clients who are working with me last 2 years.
No good.
That's something wrong.
They're not giving us a house.
Because they are using you to learn about now they know real estate.
I have so much.
They look at
No,
you are teaching them too much, right? So you are taking almost a year and they learn everything about real estate. Yeah.
You know, it's a similar things happened to me. There was a listing. One property in Brampton, 1.3 million I
Order to go
listed
anywhere.
for detached house.
If you
And
take
you
the client
know,
all the
the
time,
Punjabi's
you
names
know,
are
never
everything similar, right? Rabinder, something like that. One offer, it came with that one male agent with the Punjab.
Right.
I call it 1.1 million. I rejected that offer. Within a 4 days, I put another offer 100,000 more.
Right.
The names are, I found it some sort of similarity, but I didn't check.
Yeah.
The deal was done. I sold the house. And then I took both, buyer
Agreement?
you know, that their names of the offer.
Yeah.
They're exactly the same name. Then I called the
Agent.
the buyer agent.
Yeah.
That's a one lady. So I called them and I asked her that this client, they were submitted like 4 days ago.
Yeah.
How come they must have the buyer agreement with the previous
Agent.
agent?
Right.
How come you offered you got that all same people? And I asked them that if you send me that
Buyer agency agreement.
yeah, buyer agency agreement. And then she said, I will come to see you, Nanda. And then she came. I was in the previous office. She came to the here. And then I asked her, and she said, I already give them 1% to them. You know that the buyer agent, right? I already give it to them by 1%, and I only have a 1.5, and now what can I get? I said, no, it's not the right. I'm going to report to the RICO. Go otherwise. Then I called the
Other
The
agent.
previous agent, yeah.
he right away came to that Tim order, right? And I asked between both of them, I asked them, what are you guys going to do? I will report to the RICO, or you want to come to sort it out.
Yeah.
And then I told her that you made the mistake. One person you gave to them, go and get it from them, and give it to him that at least half of your commission.
Mhm.
And that guy also agreed, and they split.
That's
And
good,
my
yeah.
office split that.
Cause it's not fair, yeah.
Yeah.
My office split that money, and then they send it to both.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because I noticed that when
I think the second agent told them 1% we are giving. Okay, don't
So they
go with the
went,
agent.
yeah,
They
they
went-
dropped their agent.
that's what yes, she ended up with that buying that property, right? She told them.
So anyone who has any questions?
Everybody good?
If I thought this is not my problem, deal is done and the other agent is not right? That's why I work for at least fair to both of them.
For sure. But that's why it's important, BRA, because you're explaining to your client, not only do you have a duty to work on their behalf, but they have a duty to be loyal to you back, right? So you have to explain to them that it works both ways. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one thing, and it's not related here, but it's still for everybody getting know.
Yeah.
And I had a bad experience and good experience. And what happened, I sold a house and then mortgage everything done. January 14 is a closing date, February 20th, because they say some problem money. Okay, then before 28, the owner passed away, and he didn't write a will. So now I have problem. I sold a house. I don't get my commission since 1.5 years. Now see the buyer deposit money 20,000 in the royal page. So now it's almost 2 years. Last time what the client did, she lied and put up most of the email. She sent me lots of email. I didn't answer. This is this, those kind of people. His witness is Mr. Selvan. He knows that, but his email go to him too. And then what happened now is she asking seller that you have to sign mutual release. So buyer asking, and then buyer lawyer work with her. This some sign lawyer and the buyer send it to Royal LuPage. Royal LuPage said that's here. And then one day Vagisan called me. She talked to me everything. I said I don't know. Then I called the seller agent, the listing agent. I asked her if she said everything. No. So this all happening, and then I am stuck my
Crazy. I let these people go online.
No.
See.
I am buyer.
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 So the story is this.
Yeah.
He bought the property after looking for many years.
Yeah.
For somebody.
Yeah.
And they supposed to close the deal in
January 14.
January 14.
And then
Before the 14,
50,000 back.
one of the buyer or seller. One of the seller passed away.
Okay.
So the deal,
no,
mortgage is everything is done, ready to close. One of the seller passed away, then they don't want to sell the property. That's a story.
No, not that. Only one owner, that one, I think.
Yeah, one of them died.
And he passed away. He didn't write a will. So now it's a probate, and then either a wife or children.
Yeah.
So the problem is different now, changing.
Yeah.
And I think he is not married. I think the common law. So now problem is either kids or C. That's other problem. But now my buyer, what they did, they think she is smart. She complained lots about me. I sent it email. I took that everything, and he knows that. Never called, and I called her. Because 2 years or something, this commission.
His buyer shouldn't be acting because the buyer went to the lawyer and complained, and he didn't know any communications. And they signed the mutual release between the seller side and the buyer side without knowing
his
the
knowledge.
agent.
And this thing agent also didn't know.
So we haven't released the file. I said, no, we are not releasing the file. We have some issues. We have to be resolved. Until then, we are not going to release.
I said, go ahead now. And then after they call me, I don't answer.
Yeah, they can do lawyers.
Lawyer can do it, but they supposed to communicate with us.
With the brokerage, yeah.
They never communicated. They did themselves, and they asking to release the funds.
Yeah.
No, we are not releasing the fund until you come back with the proper communication. You didn't do it, so we have a cost now involved. Lawyer getting paid. We are not getting paid. So therefore, the cost has to be covered. We are not going to release the file until
Exactly. And in a mutual release case, the funds cannot be released. The buyer and seller have to sign it, but both broker of records have to sign too. So if Selvan has an issue saying, no, my client, my agent is owed something, he doesn't have to sign that mutual release. It's in the commission trust. It won't be released.
I mean, I don't want to say in front of him. It's only good. Ask the lawyer. Okay. You working, you get your things. Whatever my agent working, you think he working free? So you working free? He doesn't know. And the other thing is, now I am afraid. I don't know. I want to know because everybody in front of the act, So after 2 years or 3 years, the buyer deposit held in the agency. Otherwise, you go to RICO back, no?
2 years? No, 2 years it stays in the trust account. If nothing happens, After 2 years, we have to send it to the RICO.
Yeah,
But this situation, we
Yeah.
have something going on, communication is going on, so we have a
that's the
case,
main thing. I
case
want to
in
send the
pending, we
email
cannot send
yesterday and
anything
saying
back to
today I
anybody.
wanted, so
No.
which you talk after.
Yeah.
But future I send the email for. No, thank you, because this is happened, yeah. So for me, no problem. Problem, but no problem. You know why? Because I can do nothing. But the buyer acting like she is like a smart person. So now she came to me and then she several call I returned, she not answer because I told I want to save her deposit.
Mhm.
Now what happened? She playing around. It's okay. Finish her game. You know, now I leave it to the agent. I am done. I don't have to answer her. Last time she called, I didn't answer. Why I should ask her? So she asked me into a mutual risk. No. If she become a mutual risk friendly, I will do. Even the owner pass away, for sympathetic,
No, but what
maybe
was
I
the
can go
reason
bring
for
it
the-
down.
Why they didn't want to close
No,
it?
for the money. Because the will, he didn't like the will.
That's okay.
And the
Because
price went
it
down
happened
to-
in January. That means
No,
the
no, no,
market is
no, no,
going
no,
up.
no, no, no. The owner had to be signed. The owner passed away before the
But
closing.
the buyer can dim.
No, 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 he
can
can do.
force the
No, no,
seller
no.
to
The
Now-
owner
now
isn't
the
there to
will
close
have
it, the lawyer, yeah.
The courts decide for
Yes.
who, wife or kids.
Yes.
It take
No, no,
time.
it happened to me in 2022.
Yeah.
I signed an agreement in November 2021. I was supposed to close in 3 weeks. Right? I was ready to close the deal in 3 weeks. Mortgage is ready. Day before closing, seller passed away. And then it went through the probate process for 6 months, and then I closed.
Yeah, but ours take time. It took time. I don't know why.
Still, the buyer shouldn't have go and sign the mutual release, buyer went and signed the mutual release.
Yeah, but
How they take the 20,000 out?
Huh?
I give it to the 20,000.
20,000 deposit is here.
How can I take it?
You can, because we have to agree both, yeah.
Yeah, everybody has to agree.
The buyer and seller.
That's right, that- now that's not here, it's a dignity. But
Yeah.
too. But the thing is.
He's not angry, he's not angry.
Who will take it? Why you not agree?
He need a.
Why they didn't do the-
No. He finished his work, everything is done. Mortgage is done, everything is ready to close.
Yeah.
Then they sign the mutual release without knowing the brokerage. So they have to let the brokerage know.
He's supposed to get
He's supposed to get his money.
Because even though the lawyers sign, the brokers of records have to agree and sign.
No,
He didn't close.
No, no,
How
no.
can I-
My
Didn't
problem is
close.
money. Money, okay, what is it? My problem not that.
No, they have to communicate, they can communicate.
I don't know that smart or something, that's okay, but she playing around that, you don't know nothing.
All right, we can chit chat after. I'm gonna let everybody go online here.
Okay,
Just remember, next Friday, the 22nd, we're having a little get together here at the office. Beheson has offered to give us some food. I said, is it potluck? He said, no, we'll get a little something. So everybody come celebrate the holidays together. And we will see you guys for Tuesday trading next year. But you guys,
do we
have the
have
meeting.
on Thursday, we have something there?
So Thursday, I was thinking of starting the panel. You were saying January. You
Yeah.
want to do a panel on Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Dennis asking
yeah,
Only food.
only food or.
it's Selvan's budget. So you ask if there's LCBO budget. I don't know.
So this is only food, but we have a gala night also. Yeah.
Next year.
Next year means next month.
So, Selvan was saying January, but we had planned on starting one of the panels this Thursday evening at 6.
So you guys wanted to start on the Thursday or starting January?
In the morning.
Huh?
Is everybody fresh?
You want to do it in the morning on Thursday? Fine by
No
me.
problem.
Good.
I don't talk to the fresh.
So let me see how many people wanted to start in the morning or the Morning?
Is good for everybody. They wake up, come.
How many people like that food in the morning?
No, they don't eat that.
So we're gonna do 10:30 or 11. 11 is good.
Yeah.
No,
It's
that's
nice in the evening.
What do you guys do?
We want to do, instead of training, just training,
Yeah.
we want to do question panels. So
Yeah, the morning. That's right.
every couple of weeks, every 2 weeks or so, we want a couple of our managers to sit down and you guys can pick our brain. You know, maybe you want to ask him about financial planning, maybe you want to ask about new things happening, maybe you're having a problem with a listing, maybe you're having a problem with a client.
So we are going to talk each other
Mhm.
and find out issues and problems outside in real estate. So we are going to discuss, we are going to get more and more
Interactive.
experience
Interactive
because
panel, yeah.
whatever he has, you don't have the
Mhm.
knowledge. same thing that, whatever I know that you don't know. So we wanted to share
Share,
all
yeah.
each other's idea and get into more and more experience, right?
So we'll
Alright.
try one Thursday, one before the new year ends, before the year ends, before the new year comes, and then we'll start it consistently in January. So this Thursday we'll do it. So everybody prefer morning then? You want to do same time as training, 10:30 or
Yeah.
11?
10 o'clock, yeah.
10:30, okay. So 10:30 we'll do it then. I'll page it out for this Thursday. So you guys come. It's nicer when we're all in person talking and interacting. Like, we kind of trailed off today talking, but it's better we spend that time back and forth talking like we did today. I think it's really helpful because we can all learn from each other's experiences and even our bad stories. Like I always say, tell me a bad story about your week, because then we can pull what happened. Why didn't you get that listing that you went for? Why didn't you close that listing appointment? Let's troubleshoot it with each other, and maybe we can all talk and say, you could have done this, we could have done this. I normally do this to close it, and share our experiences. I think it's going to help us together as a whole.
So those of you who are, again, I am telling you, who are not making more than $50,000 in commissions in real estate, please come and see, sit down, go through the plans.
Mhm.
Goals are very important. We have to set up and work towards the goals and find out where's your mistakes and what is lacking of making that kind of money. So we will work through
Mhm.
and help you to develop that plan, because that's very important. We feel bad when somebody is not making $50,000 in our brokerage. We don't want to have anybody less than 50,000.
Mhm.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
one more experience. So, in the past couple of years, I lost almost 10 clients
Okay.
just because I was talking negative.
See.
Why? You know that you are talking negative.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. You identify your
I
issues.
try best to educate them about the market, the condition, what is the
Mm,
actual
mm,
nature of
mm.
the real estate.
Honestly, nobody knows
And
about
if
market.
they talking too much negative,
Yeah.
because they are greed. Basically,
You are
Worse than
yeah.
the news.
You are in the process of selling it, right? If you are start to talk negative things, people are going to back up.
I post negative.
You shouldn't talk about negative at all, because in real estate,
Somehow I bought into that negative sentiment about the market.
yeah,
And it's a trap, right?
Yeah.
Everybody buy a narrative, right?
Yeah.
So somehow I bought into that narrative last 1.5 years. And then I always post negative things in the Facebook, social media, corporate chat and everything, and I talk negative, like, oh, it's not good, it's not favorable, all this. Then, of course, two people listen to me until they bought it. I listen to the client. I try
Listen-
my best to educate in the person of-
listen to this story. I have a brother, right? He is an economist. He always talk negative,
Yeah.
right? I don't follow his instructions. Now he follows me.
But still I did the last deal happened in between. When I was showing the property, the lady was asking, "Gee, can we do the refinance after 6 months and take the 50,000 out?" And I said, "If your mortgage is not underwater, then be happy. That's what's going to happen." Like that only I told upfront.
You should have said,
Still they bought it.
just wait for 6 months, we will see after 6 months.
Mhm.
Right? You shouldn't say, oh, you won't be able to refinance, you won't be able to do anything, and you are putting down the client, so they are discouraged.
So they are borrowing 50,000 for the down payment.
Yeah.
So all their friends' experiences, like you can
Refinance.
100,000 for down payment, and down the line 6 months, 1 year, you can refinance and take the money and pay back. And pick a back with that 3 to 4%, and you can take the 1%. So that's the story. They heard from their friends, right? Then they told me the same thing, and I told
Yeah, always do not talk about futures, because we are not guaranteeing anything tomorrow. What is going to happen on the next week, we don't know. We are selling the house today. Next week, I don't know what is going to happen into the market. Some big things can happen, everything can change upside down. Even we don't know we are going to be alive. So we don't talk about the future too much about it. Especially in financial planning, we cannot say, we cannot guarantee the return if your investment will be 20% next week. No, we can't say that. So you always talk less, more do in accents. right?
The best time to
Yeah,
get into the
don't-
market is
yeah.
always now.
Yeah.
It's always now.
You can
And that-
talk, you,
yeah.
you read all kinds of financial information, you know so much stories. Do not try to pass to the clients.
It's not timing the market, it's time.
Yeah.
Time in the market, exactly. Your
Yeah.
time in the market matters the most. Absolutely.
Actually, this call like a just in time, okay? You want to get a commission and walk away, that's your job.
No, not necessarily. You don't
Oh.
misguide. You can't misguide people.
You wanted to retain the client, but go with the market at the time, right? Whatever today is whatever today. Next week is next week.
The actual thing is 80% of the buyers are
Not happy?
Why? See, negative again.
No.
I'm gonna let you guys go
Because of-
online there.
because
We're
of
gonna
the-
keep on
the
chit
market
chatting,
this
having
time,
coffee
right?
here.
When the market interest rate goes down, everybody will be happy. They are not going to share your stories, right?
The price of the house value is increasing.
Everybody have a
Yeah.
good week. Let me know if you need anything. I'll talk to you guys soon and I'll send the recording out. Thanks.
Thank you.